The President of the United States of America, across all 50 states and regions alike, has launched yet another crypto coin, World Liberty Finance, WLFI coin. Did it suck the liquidity out of the markets? Is this good news or bad news for all coins? You'll get our take on it. Also, how much richer did this WLFI token make the Trump family? And a lot of people are worried if they lose the midterms or when he's out as president, if JD Vance doesn't take over, could crypto be crumbling because they want to get back at Trump? We have a lot of takes. We're going to give our take and we're going to react to some of the other takes. Speaking of governmental bodies and people, Gavin Newsom, governor of the once great state of California. I say once great because I used to live there. He's launching his own meme coin. We'll talk about that. We're also, the CIO of Swift is shitting on XRP. Does he have a point? We'll talk about that. Talk about Ethereum. Money continues to flow in. We'll talk about the Fed, what are they going to do? A lot to talk about today, coming off of a long weekend. So with that being said, Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content where we take old, boring, stale information, repackage it up in a fun, awesome, Elvis, Sin City kind of way. We are fresh off of Labor Day where your boy was cooking up hot dogs, hamburgers, greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. Everything was on the table. Lately, did have my boy Jason Squires over at the house. So if you're in, hang out with us.
Share one of his crazy Chicago stories?
No, you know what? We revisited his old
brought over
ones.
2 homeless people and had to force some of them?
So, yeah, my boy Jason, he came by. So, basically, I was going to say is that if you hang out with us long enough here in the chat, maybe after about 5 years, we'll invite you over. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's a lot of weirdos out here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Broke Yoshi's cool.
Including you.
Rusty Bot, I've never met him.
He's a bot. You're never going to meet him.
Yeah. Then you got Muhammad. I'm kind of scared to meet him.
Why, bro? I bet you Muhammad would give you the biggest hug. I love you.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? We always get a lot of views afterwards, right? We get like 300 live viewers. And then we usually get about like 1,500, 2,000 people watching afterwards. Do you want to ask a question to those people?
Yes. How are you?
Not the people that watch live, but I want to get the comments going on this video.
Yeah, so I have to sift through 7,000 fucking bot ones.
Well, today we're going to sift through them, and we're going to get through all the real ones.
You're going to sift through them.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. We need a good question.
You know how to do that?
Question. Huh?
Okay, what's the question?
Okay, if you had to pick one or the other for the barbecue, would you go hamburger or sausage?
Hamburger.
Okay, so for those of you watching this after the fact, not live, well, you can participate live, well, that's cool. But after the fact, I want to go through. I'm gonna go through all the comments. I'm gonna reply to everyone.
Wow.
Put a 1 if you're a hamburger team. Put a 2 if you're on a hot dog. Hot dog / sausage team. We'll group those two together.
Hold on. Now the game changes. Still going hamburger.
Still going hamburger. You're gonna go 1.
Now, what's the perfect hamburger?
What do you think? Here's my question. What do you think when we look at this tomorrow, when we go through all the comments?
Hamburgers.
You think it's going to be hamburgers?
Yes.
I don't know. Sausages and hot dogs are pretty Labor Day friendly.
We know what you mean.
I would rather have hamburger just in general, but you know what? Like, I'm at a barbecue. I got a beer in my hand. I got a beer in my hand. I'm like just chatting.
It's missing a big brown sausage in my hand, you know?
If I got a big ass hamburger, it's like falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, you need to like.
But if I got that long, big brown,
you need to sit down and concentrate on the burger. But if
the sausage,
you got a sausage,
shove it in
then
your mouth.
you're good to go. I'm over here talking to the ladies.
My boy's got one hand on that thing. You know?
I'm over here chatting.
Hell yeah.
Something's happening. I'm pointing over here.
Yeah.
All the while, I got my transportable meat.
And then you make it disappear like that. Very skilled man, this guy is. Very skilled. Okay, we'll talk about crypto, I promise. Okay, let's talk about crypto. We got Magic joining us in a little bit. So, here we go. Trump family is back at it again. World Liberty Finance. Now, we knew this was coming, obviously, right? It's from Eric Trump. We are now live. Our team has always believed in the American strength and leadership with today's World Liberty Finance WLFI token launch, setting a new standard for financial freedom built on trust, speed, and United States values. This is a huge moment. Really, really missed the opportunity to put huge instead of huge, but either way. This is a huge moment for the future of money. And, well, this is World Liberty Fi on the 5-minute chart. Pretty cool here, guys, right? Pretty cool. Got up to $1. It's currently at 22.8 cents. Rumor is Andrew Tate was the only trader in history to lose money shorting this thing. Did you see it? He had one trade where he shorted something that was just down only, and he still lost money. Anyways, looks like
his problem. I've seen him trade a couple times. I've seen some of the clips. His problem is he's got too big of an audience, so they'll like front run him, or they'll just double down and like cause way too much volatility because everyone was like watching him do it, and people like know all of his wallets, so they see the transaction, they see the action, and it's got to be, even if you know what you're doing, it's like you have millions of people that can see your trades as you're about to put them in or executing them. And so, yeah, your liquidation point's always getting hunted.
Well, look, there's might be some good news here on this chart. We do have a W pattern here on the 5-minute coming into a bull flag. This thing should break out. Now, we'll talk about this in a second. I do want to share a couple more things here. After the token was launched, a pretty big piece of news, I guess. New governance proposal is live. We're proposing that 100% of fees earned by the World Liberty Finance protocol-owned liquidity will be used to buy back and burn WLFI token. This means that every trade becomes fewer tokens in circulation. You can read the full proposal here. I have not. Trump's family's wealth has surged $5 billion after launching the coin. $5 billion with a B. That's like 1,000 gold visas, you know, for people that want to come here. Now, there's some commentary here. You'll get our commentary in a second, but some commentary across social media from the crypto mist lady here. For those bullish on World Liberty Finance, here's the last Trump coin, essentially referencing, hey, remember we've seen this playbook before? I mean, kind of looks the same, right? If you zoom out a little bit, you know, it's a big move up and then and then we also have this.
There's zero chance you can make money on that. Holding it.
Hold on.
Anything long.
Hold on, man. Okay. Relax.
My bad.
World Liberty Fi, yet another genius launch. Guess your family can't resist squeezing a little more liquidity out of the crypto folks, huh? And then, well, they share the chart. Some people are saying, you know what we saw with the Trump coin? All the alts completely got destroyed. Why? People were selling to buy the Trump coin. A lot of people worried about that. I don't think we saw it to the degree that we saw back in, when did he launch this coin? Like in February? Or no, in January. And so you have some people on one side of the aisle saying this is great. Well, the president's continuing. His kids are in there. They're fully entrenched in the crypto space. They're going to yada, yada, yada. And the other side is like, these guys are just trying to, this is another money grab. This is bad. It's going to suck liquidity out. So before I get your take, I do want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by none other than the #1 social casino in the entire world, which is Stake.us. They got a mobile app now. You can play, have fun, roll dice, roulette, tic-tac-toe. Not tic-tac-toe, but like rock, paper, scissors. Anyways, download the app. The link's in the description. Create an account. Redeem your free 1 stake cash every single day and redeem it for crypto. I know we had someone in the chat said they've been doing it. They got some free crypto just by literally logging in, click the button, and you're done. So a big thank you to Stake for being a channel partner.
You get like $1 every day?
1 stake cash.
Yeah.
Yes. So 30 stake cash, you redeem it for crypto. So if Cardano was at $1, for example, you would redeem 30 free stake cash for 30 Cardano.
Yeah. That's
literally
pretty easy way to just make money.
I mean, for those people that look into DCA,
it's like that's like a Spotify subscription for you.
That's
and for me.
That's $306 a year.
Yeah.
Anyways, create the account. It was Jim Beam. Thank you, Jim Beam. Create an account and big thank you to Stake. So, Rob.
¿Qué pasa?
Where do you sit?
Right here in this chair.
Correct. But where do you sit on the news?
Right side of the desk.
Good or bad for the markets?
Okay,
talk to me, man.
There's a couple things I gotta address here. Number one is that it smells like this is brewing more of the really speculative. Hey, I just launched it last second kind of thing. Here's some meme. People are making money. It just screams meme coin pump to me.
You mean it's going to pump?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. What happened last time Trump came out with the Trump coin?
It ran and then it died.
Yeah. But before that happened, the altcoins, particularly the meme coins, all went bananas. No, they all started pumping up
After the token went live? Before the token?
But after. The kill shot was President Malay. That's when it topped out and kind of bottomed out.
Okay, keep talking. I'm going to pull up a chart here.
Okay. But Trump coin, that's when we saw, it wasn't, I'm not saying it was a 2021 run where you saw everyone become billionaires and millionaires all of a sudden. But you know what? Trump coin came out. That was when pump.fun was working very well. It was very lucrative to get into the right meme coin during that time. If you look at the biggest gainers today and you go down the list, you got pump.fun at number 2, up 32% for the week. So the biggest gainers on the week here is Meme Core, which name says it all there. And you got pump.fun here as well. And you go to the biggest gainers of the week. Down here on the list, you got Dog with Hat.
You are
Fart coin.
Bro, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. This is so yellow chart this is Pepe. Yellow is the 16th. The 17th is when he launched. And then Pepe went down 75%.
Okay, my timing's a little off.
It's way off. Actually.
Either way, meme coins were doing very well in this time range, right? Now, maybe if meme coins were all crushing it and we were like 3-4 months in and then the World Liberty Finance token came out.
That's Doge, by the way, down 70% a day after Trump launched.
Okay, whatever. Look, my whole premise here is that these things tie in together. And regardless of what history has said, if you want to, I'm off on my days, okay? Cool.
A ship down 60%.
Okay, fine. Okay. Listen, pump.fun is up. Dog with Hat, Fart coin is up. Meme coins have been asleep at the wheel for a good amount of time. I think World Liberty Finance is a signal that, hey, money is coming back in to these really speculative, high-risk plays. I believe it. I think that pump.fun is going to have somewhat of a resurgence, maybe not quite as strong as it did earlier in the year, but I think that people kind of get back on that train. Memes are coming out. It's going to take one meme coin to go bananas for everyone else to say, all right, where's the next one? Where's the next one? I still think it's Fart coin. I genuinely do. I think Fart coin will crush it. And that's because it's the newest, strongest meme coin Solana ecosystem. Look at my chart here. Look at the top 10 here on the right side on the 7 days. Nothing is up. Bitcoin's up 1%. But Solana up 6%. The next one down is Bitcoin Cash. Then you got BitGet token. What did I tell you guys about these exchange tokens? Pay attention. These exchange tokens are anyways, I'm going to get back into it here. So, Solana's outperforming all the alts in the top 20. So, I think that Solana's turn here is coming around the corner. You take a look at Bitcoin's chart. We have a reversal on the 7-day, right? We were trending down. We went into the weekend at 107. Looks like we're getting back to 110. We're right at the range that we started at a week ago. If this was the local bottom, if 107 was the bottom, and we get back up to 115, 118, you see Solana catching momentum. It's leading the pack right now. We saw ETH run pretty well when Bitcoin got to 115 and consolidated. I think Solana does the same. Solana ecosystem is going to crush it. Also, Fart coin to the moon, baby. There you go.
Wow. Insanity. We have Magic joining us for Magic Tuesday. Let's welcome him in. Magic. How are you, man?
What's going on, man?
Good to see you, bro. How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was really good.
Amazing.
Magic. We started this show off in a grand non-crypto fashion, and we were asking the audience which one is a better play if you had to pick one or the other for Labor Day. Is it a hamburger or hot dog / sausage? You got to go one or the other.
We did hamburgers, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
So
Tells me a lot.
I gotta go sausage, bro.
I know you do.
Yeah.
For more reasons than one. Magic, I'm sorry. Rob's joining us today. Rob's joining us this week versus last week. Okay. Magic, real quick. Can we pull up the World Liberty Finance chart? What are your thoughts on the price movement? I'm just kidding, obviously. But I would love to get your thoughts on it if you have any.
I hate it, but yeah. Other than that, it is what it is.
Fair enough. Do you have any buy zones on the chart?
I haven't even looked at that chart.
Don't
I've
do
seen
it.
it get
Just
posted
don't
on
do
Twitter.
it. If you haven't looked at it yet,
Yeah.
save yourself. Yeah, save yourself. Don't do it. It's not worth it. But you know what is worth it to look at, Magic, is the Bitcoin chart. I am a little slightly tilting more bearish on price action. We just got to get to that 114, 116. I know that's a level you talked about, Magic. Is anything brewing on any of the higher or the lower time frames that are giving you maybe a little bit of hope? Or maybe it's telling you there's potentially more downside. What's more probable? I know this is not something that definitively you or anyone really can say, but from a probability standpoint, what are you seeing?
Sure. So for me, I am kind of looking in the same areas that you are. I'm looking for that 114 to 16 area being a pretty big zone to look at in terms of how high is this going to go bounce wise. You can see that this is the low from the last 60 days and that's the high. And I just have it divvied up kind of like you would anything else. But realistically, why you want to pay attention to that zone is all of your major averages that were just generated with the weekly, bi-weekly, bi-monthly, and monthly are all right here. So if you get above 114 to 115, this previous month EQ in this case, and the EQ of the last 60 days, you're above the standard deviation that we like to trade off of, but also you're above all your major static averages that generate when sessions close, which is a good sign. So I think it's more likely that we probably come down more after a bounce as of right now, but reserve the right to change your opinions, obviously, where it makes sense, and it makes sense here. And I don't think it's the end of the world necessarily, even if it comes down and makes a new low from these levels. I did bid these levels. They were tradable. So I do have positions along that is open. It has hit a take profit one, which you can see it hit pretty easily here. And if it continues up, it continues up. So the only trade that made sense out of this region and still makes sense even on coming back down is along. What you don't want to see is this thing come up here, fail, and then just set up shop over the monthly open and that low as support and then crash through it. That's realistically not a good sign. But I think it's even Stevens. I think a lot of people are going to be upset that it's probably a boring sideways market until, one side of the aisle gets caught off sides again, which maybe it's bears. Who knows? Maybe it's bulls. But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's range bound. I know people don't want to hear that, but is what it is.
If you were to Magic, if you were to kind of guess, I guess, like an educated guess, how much longer do you think we could be potentially range bound before it breaks one way or the other?
I would say the month of September is going to be fairly uneventful in that regard. I think that if it's going to make a new low off of this, I think it'll come in September. But I don't think that low is realistically hey, we're going to break all the way to 95K. I think you're looking at a new low in the 105K region. And it's a very unexciting. So I would say the month of September is probably going to be boring, at least to me. But it is gearing up. I'm sure volatility is getting low, things like that, where we are likely to see something in Q4. So I do think that isn't there a pretty big expiration coming up here in this month right before Q4 kicks off
with options?
Yeah, things like that. I know those are generally looked at as eventful. So I would say that you're probably boring and sideways up until something like that happens, and we get to see what really truly comes of rate cuts. So the market, is already kind of telling us that we're still in a little bit of limbo. They are waiting for that confirmation, I think.
Awesome. I was just taking a look. I was trying to find. I'll find the options data that we're kind of referencing. But Magic, Ethereum pullback. I think it's at what 43.22. There was news that this platform EtherFi got like $100 million from ETHZilla, which is a company backed by Peter Thiel. I believe it's Peter Thiel or Fred Thiel, one of the two. It's a Thiel, and so I think that's what we've been talking about on this channel is people are going to take the ETH that they have as their treasury, and then they're going to put it to work so they can make more money, right? What are you seeing on the ETH chart, Magic? Is this a good area to potentially DCA into Ethereum if that is your strategy?
Yeah, I would say with Ethereum here, as you're getting closer to like this 4K region, again, I still hang on to the fact that as long as we are back above around $3,800, that the immediate short term is still bullish for this asset. So a pullback isn't necessarily a death sentence. And if you're looking for positions, while I don't consider this cheap Ethereum, up near prior all-time highs, I do consider it an area that if you are more short and medium-term mindset, looking for that usual quarter four seasonality pump where crypto does tend to rotate into highs, you'd be looking in this zone for opportunity, for at least some kind of a risk opportunity in terms of, putting additional capital into the market. So yeah, I am looking closer to like 4K, maybe even as low as 3,800 still in terms of Ethereum. There we go. We're at a log. Just wanted to get out of that. But the pattern on this that's at play that we've been talking about, timing does have us rolling out into November. These things aren't perfect, so we do have to keep that in mind. But at the same time, we also have to remember that, there is more time for this to develop and nothing has really invalidated that idea yet. So until we see that, I'm looking at this opportunistically, unless like there's a major breakdown on Bitcoin in the whole market,
Awesome. There is one layer one Magic that's been performing fairly well relative to how the rest of the top 10 out of the last 7 days, which is Solana, sitting at $205. Rob believes that ecosystem is about to start moving up. What are you seeing on the Solana chart, and what are some key levels that you have mapped out?
Let me find my Solana chart. I think I just have it on Binance, actually, because Caspa is not the right one.
It's actually Binance. Remember, was that Jenny? Was that Jenny Yellen, right?
Yeah.
We're brought forth Binance in the 5. Anyways, go ahead, please.
So this is a setup we talked about as it was playing out. The clean Steve Shark is what I call it. Guy in our group had basically mapped this move out after the high was made and was looking for this low. And this was your first target, was the first yellow box here. And you've since bounced off of it, come back to the support. I believe we identified it here as well at the 23 high. And now you're trying to hold that level of support. So realistically, as long as you're living above about $180 for me, give or take, that's not an exact number, but as a general whole in a region, you can see that if you lost it on like a weekly closing basis, things do start to look a little bit different, like you're probably going to try to at least challenge into the lows at like 150, maybe lower. But for now, I am looking at this as looking for the next targets at 260. I don't know much about in terms of ecosystems or rotations. I just kind of go off of the chart. And so this one has now reached the, I guess the next range, so to speak. So we're hoping to see it hold that range above 180 and target 260 and maybe even a new all-time high after that, assuming, more traditional aspects of the cycle begin to play out into quarter four.
I hope they do. And then Magic, I want to ask you for one more, if you got time.
Okay.
I know last week you're on the show, we talked about Chronos, and I was saying, hey, for those that are maybe feeling FOMO, wait for a pullback. And then was it a day or two later? I think I text you or you text me, and we're like, hey, this thing just kept going. It's pulled back since then. We made money on a Chronos long at like 27 cents or 28 cents. Mm-hmm. Our entry was 27 cents even. Which is right here. It was like a 200% gain. Proud of myself. I was going to go longer leverage, but I only went 12x. And so what are you seeing on the Chronos chart, right? My first target was at 50% fib level, which originally we held. And actually, I think that's where I got in on that trade and then closed it out at around 30 cents. Now it looks like maybe the gold pocket would be an area, right? 23.4 to 24.2 cents. What are you seeing on your chart with Chronos Yeah.
Sure. We talked about this one and the potential that it had for a short setup, and the short setup was there. It just went through the first area. If you take a look here, we were looking at the 24 high in a 6-month pivot. It just blew through there and ripped basically to the 382. Or if you went into logarithmic, it is your logarithmic gold pocket, but you can see it's back testing a structure here. Basically, you're trying to wick into, this top. So it did run into resistance. The question becomes, this pullback, is it just a pullback, or does it do what it always does where it just nukes, and you can see very similar. Well, this one's a weekly chart, so it's a much bigger pattern here, but it is setting up in a descending triangle. And if you go out to like a 4-hour on this thing, you can kind of see similarities already. This thing loves to, it's XRP of old, I guess, where it just pumps and dumps. But yeah, that 27 cent region, it's exactly spot on. That's the level you were looking at. There's your bounce right off of the zone. Again, it just overshot the initial idea, came back down, and I'm looking at about the 2024 high at 23.328 cents, which is, I think, what you had mentioned at 23.4 cents, which is that gold pocket. So that would be my next, logical area. If it's going to front run it, I would just, play like a local low here and be like, okay, maybe this low gets ran and we can utilize it as some kind of like a stop loss generator. But I'd be patient for my level here, and that would be the next area to really look to. I don't know much about the volume profile on this one. I haven't been keeping up with what happened last month. I imagine it's way out of it's a huge monthly volume profile. Not going to tell us a bunch. All it's going to tell you is that you don't have much here but a volume gap, probably some single prints if we were to look into it. And your next shelf doesn't really pick back up to that 24 high. So if that area is lost, it could go further. But, again, level to level as always. So that 23.4 cents is a good spot. It's a very good spot.
Would you feel comfortable putting in a long position there? Like, I don't know, maybe
I would never long Chronos.
You'll never long Chronos?
No, I will probably never long Crow.
Come on, bro. What do you mean?
Maybe from the lows. If there was like a really nice harmonic setup, I would. But
yeah, like 23 cents.
I don't know that we have anything there. In terms of that, because I mean, when you're looking at something like this, what do you got here? Was this where you pulled your gold pocket from?
No, I pulled it from 15 cents.
15 cents. So I'm gonna guess right about there. See what you got. Yeah, you'd have something like this if you were looking for any kind of a harmonic at this point with the 0.564. Yeah, you're looking at like a bat, which is down in like the 18 cent region. If it was like a really bastardized Gartley, yeah, you'd probably be looking still sub 23 cents.
Yeah, but that would be a perfect long, right? Sub 15. You said never. Okay, fine. You don't want to long it at 22 cents. I get it. But never? You would long. Come on.
I mean,
if that pattern played out, you would
when it does stuff like this, if it was down here and that setup was available, yes. But when it does historically things like this, I'm probably not going to take too many longs on that one.
You don't like highly manipulated exchange tokens?
No. Especially off of moves that just went from like, what did we go from 14 cents all the way to 40 almost?
Yeah.
In the course of a couple days. So
listen,
you're probably going to give some of that back.
It's utility, okay? Yeah. It does 7 million transactions per second. All right. All jokes aside, Magic, always a pleasure having you on, my friend. I'm gonna prompt Magic's Discord link. Go in there, join, have some fun. Ask questions, not just Magic, it's also his community and his business partner, Max. Or if you don't have Discord and you want to just see Magic, he's on the show every Tuesday at 10:45 a.m. Pacific time. Magic, any parting words before we let you go?
No. I don't have any like famous Wilford Brimley quotes, but I got a shirt for you this week. And it's diabetes. And it says, I got the sugars. Yeah.
Now I have a question. Is it that shirt like that because you've worn it so much, or that's the design of it? Like it looks like it's been ran through the washer?
That was the design.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the design. I haven't actually watched this one yet. I ordered it and I was like, man, when it comes in, I'm gonna wear it on Tuesday.
I like it. So I love it. You know what? I think we should send Magic a shirt. Magic, I'm gonna find a shirt and I'm gonna send it to you. I just need your address. We'll talk later. Thank you. Have a great day, brother, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. All right.
Buying those broke-in, worn-in shirts, even though it's not. It's like those girls that are nice, sweet, and innocent, but they dress like hoes.
What's your point?
They're trying to look like they beat up, but they're not. Yeah.
Okay.
I did want to give a little love to the chat, though. Hey, how y'all doing? So if you are new here, say hello. We'd love to give you a little shout out. I want to see if we can get a little activity in the chat. So snooze fest. Not many people are here typing. So do me a favor. Put OLA in the chat. Ola in the chat. And we want to give something away today?
Yeah, I'll give away a high five.
Okay, cool. Put Ola in the chat. OLA will give away a free high five. And then for those of you that are new here, once again, say hello. We got some new faces. We got Irvin, Nobody, CD, Pinder, Meyer Dead, Degendo, Cali CPS, Shailesh, Calzi, Gear, The Real Ape Father, and RJ Loves Crypto. All of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Everyone's freaking out saying, Trump's about to speak. Is it going to crash the market? Guys, here's the announcement. Everyone calm down.
Magic said, Rob just called me a beat-up hoe.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I
Is
did.
that how you treat our guests?
Yeah, it's exactly.
An asshole? Magic, I'm sorry on behalf of this guy.
Bro.
I'll just make sure every Tuesday we give Rob the day off, okay? I got you, bro. All right. Those of you that are scared about the Trump announcement, here it is. Trump to announce Space Command headquarters. Rob, they're moving it from Alabama to Colorado.
Don't you think Space Command should be in space?
Now, there's an idea. They should hire you as a strategic advisor of Space Command relocation headquarters to the President of the United States of America.
Donald Trump, give me a ring, bro.
Thank you. Call me. Santiago said, Santi, hola. This fool said, giving away. Okay, let's talk about, you said hoe and beat up, and well, here's a beat up hoe here. It's Gavin Newsom. What a shitty person this guy is, man. Okay. He's launching a meme coin. Have you heard about it?
Are you still pushing back on the idea that meme coins are about to take off? Because I'm telling you, this is it right here, bro. These one after another.
Case study. When shit like this happens, meme coins fucking fall off. And so, okay, here we go. Gavin Newsom on this show, Pivot, with this lady.
And if you want a real prediction, I know we talked about the Taylor Swift prediction. The real prediction is, we're about to put a meme coin out. And you know what, Donald Trump, we'll see how well your coin does versus our coin. I mean,
it's the battle.
We're just trying.
It's the battle. It's the battle, bro. Gavin Newsom versus Donald. Can we run the versus animation? We got to just run it.
Hell yeah.
There it is. Donald
You're
Trump.
definitely Gavin Newsom.
Donald Trump and Gavin Newsom are squaring up to be the most epic battle of all time. One meme coin pitted versus the other. Who's going to win? Winner take all.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, can we go back to the video? Okay, so yeah, here's the rest of the video. It's like 10 seconds left.
I mean, we're just trying to turn up the heat and trying to tune people into the absurdity.
Is it going to be called Gavin coin?
No, it's, I think, Trump corruption coin.
Trump corruption coin.
They got the same hairdo, just more gray and less gray.
So he is so well spoken, man. He's got gift of gab. This guy does. And then I was like, no way, this is real. And then he posted it. Gavin Newsom was planning to start a meme coin called Trump corruption coin, and then he reposted with the eyes. Rob, the duel of the century. Which coin comes out on top?
I could care less.
What do you mean? We'll see the strength of the voters, right? We'll see how the liberals do, and we'll see how the Republicans do, or maybe they just won't either way,
The sad part of all of this is that people are going to lose money, and the only people that are going to end up hurt, the only people that essentially lose in this is not Gavin Newsom or Donald Trump.
Facts.
And at the end of the day, even just putting attention on either one of these projects, and it's asinine.
Will you be buying Trump corruption coin? No.
You know what? It might not be a bad project to get into when it pulls back. It's going to launch. It's going to crash. I, for some reason, could see that thing falling off 80, 90% from launch and then all of a sudden breaking out. I mean, crypto just runs in very weird ways, and
That's right, man.
that could be a thing very easily.
Rob, do me a favor. Ask me for an update on the CME.
Polymarket had
Just
an
ask me
update.
for the update on the CME.
Polymarket said it was 86%. What does the CME say?
Wow, CME, I'm so happy you asked there, Rob. 91.7% believe that we are getting a rate cut of 25 basis points on the 18th of September. Well, and the markets are down. I know the stock market's down, right? Let's check CNBC real quick. Dow falls 300 points to kick off September on tariff worries or rising bond yields. VIX is up 13%, but rate cuts are coming. I think the Fed's in a weird spot. All right, let's talk about Saylor. I'm going to hit up Forrest and say, bro, you said they were done buying. That man is never done buying. Michael Saylor has posted that Strategy has acquired an additional 4,048 Bitcoin for $449.3 million at an average price of the top again, 110,981.
It's actually a pretty good price. You know, he bought a lot at 119, 117.
Good price, yeah. It would have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
better, you know.
It's better than what he was buying. If you look at his historic buys, he had quite a few large ones at 119 and 117.
Yeah.
And so that's
listen,
also almost $500 million. I know we kind of brush these off because he just
That's a lot of
keeps just buying, but I mean, what was it? MetaPlanet just hit 20,000 BTC, and that was like a big moment for them. They've been buying for
this
over
guy
a
just
year
bought
now.
it.
It's just like 4,000 BTC. Throw it in the
Why not?
Throw it in the safe. Let's go.
It's fine. You know, now they
Throw it
have
in the pile.
636,505 Bitcoin acquired for $46.95 billion at an average price of $73,765 per BTC. That's the beauty of DCA. You know, how many times has that guy bought the top?
Let me ask you a question.
No, let me answer my question. How many times has that man bought the top?
It doesn't.
A lot. Thanks for answering my question.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
And he still has an average cost of $73,000 per Bitcoin. A number we may never see again. Probably will depend. But yeah, anyways, what? You were going to ask me a question.
You think?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, MicroStrategy,
It's strategy.
Michael Saylor, whoever.
Yes.
Will they get to 1 million Bitcoin?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I agree.
I mean, we're not too far off, but yeah.
Second question.
Terrible question.
Will Bitcoin ever get to $1 million?
Absolutely. Also a terrible question.
Okay. I also agree.
Okay.
We're just probably indifferent on the time period, but it's coming.
Okay.
Sometime within the next 15 years, right? Okay. Cool. Yeah. What happens when that happens? Because they're both going to probably happen at the same. When Bitcoin hits $1 million, MicroStrategy will already have crossed 1 million Bitcoin. Do you agree they'll be the most powerful company in the world at some point in time?
What other... Okay, so that would put their holdings valued at $1 trillion. What company on the fucking face of the planet can sit there and say they have $1 trillion on their balance sheet?
You can immediately throw...
Liquid.
Liquid. Yes, 100%. You can immediately reply, BlackRock, right?
No.
But I know. But I'm just saying that for the novice person that's just sitting here like, okay, MicroStrategy, you could throw BlackRock on there. But here's the catch. BlackRock's wealth is managed, right? A lot of those headline numbers where they say, hey, BlackRock's total value. They have a lot of stake in a lot of companies.
Thank you.
They have a lot of value.
That drives me up a fucking wall. When people say BlackRock is buying, they're not fucking buying. It's not for them. It's for their customers.
Yeah. Now they have some Bitcoin. I don't know
they
exactly.
They have their own fund that they buy Bitcoin for. But
100%. But they also have exposure to Bitcoin, or they own some in some way. They might not have the MicroStrategy or strategy kind of way of going about it, where they have their own treasury and they're kind of announcing it. Not in that fashion. But BlackRock does own Bitcoin. But BlackRock's giant valuation, or the headline numbers where BlackRock is the fourth largest country by GDP if you were to take all of their assets under management, but it doesn't even belong to them. Now they are one of the largest companies in the world, and if not, maybe top 10 if you just look at what they personally own. But my thing is that Strategy is going to be the most powerful company in the world in 10 years. I mean, if you think that crypto is going to be a monetary instrument that governments use, which we see the US is going all in on it, then the most powerful crypto is Bitcoin, and the most powerful company is going to be Strategy.
Did you just say Bitcoin is crypto? Are you serious? Bitcoin is not crypto, man. It's different. It's Bitcoin. It's the hardest monetary asset in the world. Don't you ever dare call it crypto.
You done?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm done.
Me too. But yeah, I mean, what most powerful company in the world? What do you think?
Think about that number though. $1 trillion liquid on your balance sheet.
Yeah.
You don't like that. That's not normal. Usually it's paper, right? We have stock in this company. We have shares with this stock, and we own part of this company. We own patent rights that are worth X amount. You have 1 million Bitcoin worth $1 trillion when Bitcoin gets to $1 million a coin. And that is sitting in a wallet or in a custodial service that you can sell at any time. So if they want to continue to borrow money, if they want to expand, if they want to buy companies, if they want to whatever, you think it's going to be hard for them to get funding, to get money, to get loans, to literally get whatever they want? And so, yes, to answer Rob's question, I do believe they'll be the most powerful company, because even if someone starts, unless it's but what are the companies bigger than BlackRock? Unless someone says, you know what, MicroStrategy, this is where they're going. We're gonna we want to outpace them. But at that point, who has that kind of capital to go out and try to play catch up with a man who's been buying for the last 4 years? That is sitting on almost 750,000 Bitcoin. That is a lot. And RJ loves hockey. To answer your question, 636,000 Bitcoin is what they currently own right now. That's MicroStrategy, the company, not Michael Saylor and his personal funds. And so we'll see. My biggest fear, though, has always been what happens when Saylor is no longer here? What happens when he retires? What happens when he dies? Is the next person going to be as bullish on Bitcoin as Saylor is? Or are they going to say, this strategy made the company a lot of money, now we're going to move on, X, Y, and Z? I don't know that answer. Or strategy goes down, or I don't know. There's a lot that can happen. We're talking about almost 1 million Bitcoin, guys. It's not a small amount of money. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Ethereum. This is posted by Leo Lanza, Digital Oil. Justin, Jack Ma, which is the founder of Alibaba. Now this is worded a little, I don't know if this is, I don't want to say incorrect, but I don't think it's Jack Ma's company. I believe this company, which the Yunfeng Financial Group, it has ties to Jack Ma. I don't think Jack Ma is a owner of the company or runs the company. So just to put it out there, but they have bought 10,000 ETH as a reserve asset. This is their press release that they put out. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but we're starting to see what we saw with Bitcoin a year ago, 9 months ago, now with Ethereum. And then we have this as well, SharpLink, which goes by the ticker SBET. SharpLink acquired 39,008 Bitcoin at an average price of $4,531, bringing its total holdings to 837,230 Ethereum, valued at $3.6 billion. Key highlights of the week ending August 31st. They've raised $46 million through their ATM facility, added 39,000 ETH at the average price we just talked about. Staking rewards. They've earned 2,300 ETH in staking rewards since June 2nd. Okay? calculator time. 2,318 Ethereum times an average price of, let's just say, $4,500. They've made $10 million, Rob, passively. Tell me again why you wouldn't be bullish on Ethereum infrastructure. Why you wouldn't be bullish on Ethereum staking and restaking, like Eigenlayer, like Lido, like Rocket Pool. Like, I can keep going on and on.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be more ways. We know, obviously, since we do our show, you, the viewer, knows that there's a lot more ways of making money than simply buying Bitcoin and setting it aside and selling it at some point in the late future. There's trading. There's staking. There's buying new projects early and then selling and the top, right? Or selling on the way up. And this is just yet another example of, well, companies are going to do the same thing that retail does. If you think that institutions, companies, countries, states, if they're going to simply just watch everyone else make money and everyone else out here making strategies up to say, hey, this is going to be our allocation of our portfolio or treasury reserve. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to mine Bitcoin. We're going to stake ETH. Like, they're going to do the same thing that me, you, and your crypto friends are doing. It's all going to happen. It's not just a private game that retail plays. Everyone's going to get in on it. And here's the thing. If you're an early holder of crypto tokens that are used by institutions, then you're gonna ultimately win. I still think the best thing to do is do what MicroStrategy does. If you have large amounts of cash, I think it's the safest way. It's the least volatile position. But I can't fault anybody for buying ETH or doing ETH treasury or staking ETH.
You know what the problem is with the MicroStrategy is? I think a lot of people have struggles with a couple of things. One, time management, being able to like DCA Bitcoin on the way down and on the way up. And two, it's just they just like, I don't know, they're not disciplined enough. And so there are some solutions out there that are gearing towards the MicroStrategy style of accumulating Bitcoin for the retail investor, for the retail person, that all they can have to do is just turn the thing on and it'll automatically buy Bitcoin on the way up, buy Bitcoin on the way down, and it'll make money in a passive way. I'm actually going to be bringing on the founder of one of the
Let me ask you. If a friend came up to you and said, hey, man, say they're making...
Will you be my friend?
No. Let's just say you bring a friend on. They've been making... they're making, say, $80,000 a year, right? Probably just enough to kind of get by, get an apartment and a house. And they're like, hey, man, you know what? I want to buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and set it aside. And they don't mention anything about DCAing. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to buy $1,000. It's not a bad idea, right?
No.
But it's not going to change anything.
I'll never say it's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I don't think. And I think that a company buying 1,000, buying an amount of Bitcoin, it's not a bad idea, but here's the reality. It's not going to change your life, right? $1,000, hey, sure, you know what? When Bitcoin's $1 million, you now got $10,000. It's great. It's a great investment, but it ain't going to change your life. That amount ain't going to change your life. You at home buying $1,000 worth of Bitcoin one time and then selling it in
it might change your
future.
Children's lives.
It'll help. It's not going to change your life. $1,000 worth of Bitcoin is not going to change your life. Now, companies are going to do the same thing. So there's going to be companies that get 1% of their portfolio that they buy Bitcoin. There's going to be companies that buy 2% of their Bitcoin portfolio, 2% position, but they're going to hold a lot of stocks, a lot of bonds, and like that's where the majority of their money is. It's not going to do anything for them. Having a 3% better return on your projected your projected numbers at the end of the year, or if you're publicly trading your quarterly reports, whatever it is, it's not going to move the needle that much. It's not going to set you apart from the competition. You got to go all in, man. if you're going to go in, your friend's going to buy Bitcoin, $1,000, you're like, hey, look, why don't you do this? You make $80,000 a year. Instead of taking $1,000 of your emergency spending cash,
Take all 80 grand.
No, instead of taking that $1,000 of your emergency savings that you might have to end up selling in 3 months because somebody lost their job or your water heater broke, like just take $100,
Buy World Liberty
and just keep buying Bitcoin every week or every paycheck. Just do exactly what MicroStrategy is doing, but just do it from a company perspective. That's what's going to happen, man. Half the companies out here are going to be smart. They're gonna get a long-term buy DCA. They're gonna kill it, just in the same way that MicroStrategy has been doing it. However, there's going to be a lot of scared money out there that thinks they're going to change their lives by buying 1,000 Bitcoin, and then that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
I don't really have a question.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the Ethereum. I don't know how we got to Bitcoin, but I literally just shared.
I'm just saying it's people are making money, man. They're going to be companies are going to act just like me and you, man.
Hopefully they don't act like you. Just kidding. Okay. So anyways, they talk about their staking rewards, right? We were talking $10 million, a lot of money. And so this is SharpLink. They follow this up by Bitcoin preserves value, but so does Ethereum. The only difference, Ethereum also creates it. We believe that ETH makes a better treasury asset than Bitcoin. That's why we chose ETH. Exhibit A, staking rewards. Again, this is something that we've talked about, and once staking is approved on the ETFs, I think this is going to only accelerate. All right. Let's watch this video from Senor.
He's had a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
You heard him talking about Chainlink?
I have.
Are you pulling that up today or no?
I can.
Yeah.
Here, why don't you do that? I'll play this video. You pull up the one he talks about Chainlink.
Got it.
Have you seen this one where we talked about how ADA's been outperforming Bitcoin since its inception?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
All right, let's watch it. Now he's got it looks like he's building an aquarium here. He's got octopus, lobster. What the fuck is this down here? What is that, a bee? So maybe not an aquarium. What would it be if you have a lobster, an octopus, and a bee? Would that be like
no idea.
Not a farm. Okay. All right, let's listen.
I've been at the center of basically every single day relentless criticism. You say that Cardano's an underperforming asset. We're up 140% from 1 year ago. Bitcoin is up 80%. We've outperformed them. We're amongst one of the best performing assets from a 1 year period. If you look at the entire history of the project, 108,000 Bitcoin was raised to build Cardano, which is about $13 billion at today's value. Cardano outperformed the price of Bitcoin from its inception by more than 200%. The best performing asset of all time.
Thoughts on that?
Just cherry picking numbers, man. It's 100% what it is. Bitcoin's outperformed Cardano in the last 4 years. Bitcoin's outperformed Cardano in the last 3 years. Bitcoin's outperformed Cardano in the last 2 years. Bitcoin, since its inception, has incurred a tremendous amount more market cap. You're just cherry picking numbers. I'm not short selling the growth of Cardano. I think it's done very well. It's one of the most successful altcoins in history. It's in number 10 on the market cap. It's been about as successful as you could ask for a layer one. The only layer ones ahead of it is Solana, XRP, and ETH on Tron. And so you ask yourself,
what a wonderful world.
What more would you want? But to sit here and compare it against the largest crypto, the one that has realistically outperformed Cardano a lot, at least a lot lately. And yeah, you know what? Altcoin season is running right now. And Cardano's outperforming it. However, last bull market, Cardano was at $3. Bitcoin has already 2x'd its previous all-time high. Cardano hasn't even gotten close to its previous all-time high. And so I would just be careful cherry picking what the numbers you want. I mean, he's the founder and CEO. And so Yeah, I'd expect them to do so. I mean, you're going to highlight your achievements. That's one of them. But from my perspective, because I'm a crypto analyst, so
Loud-spoken.
Loud-spoken crypto analyst. So, I mean, as much weight and pull as I have, not quite as much as Charles, but I will weigh in and say, hey, there are other numbers we can pull up that contradict the success of Bitcoin compared to Cardano.
You got that Chainlink video?
I do. Also, take a look. Take a listen.
This was from the same AMA, right?
No, this is a different one.
JJ on Chainlink. I said, fuck it.
We need more audio. We need more volume here.
Here, I'll rewind it. I think I'm pretty good here. Let's see.
JJ on Chainlink. I said, fuck it. And they gave us an absurd number for integration. We'll haggle it. We'll figure it out. They're good negotiators. Sergey is an extremely smart man, and he's a very good businessman, and he kind of sees the future, and he knows he's sitting on a golden egg, and he knows what he's worth. And I like people like that. There's honesty in those conversations. So it's JJ on Chainlink. I said, fuck it.
So
why?
They want a big ass price tag.
Yeah, but he said, fuck it, we'll make it work. Why don't they do that with Tether or Circle, right? Like, I know it's a big price. I think it's what, $5 million or $6 million?
Don't you think he's taking shots at Chainlink though?
No, absolutely not. I mean, complimented the guy.
But he is throwing out negotiations publicly, saying, hey, they're asking for a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that, like...
And he followed up and said, they're sitting on a golden egg, and Sergey's a smart businessman, and I like him.
Yeah, but my perspective is like when I'm doing negotiations with somebody, if I'm in active negotiations, I'm not going to come out and be like, this guy is charging a lot, an absurd amount. Now, he has the weight, so he can bully around, but I don't know, man. I just like, from my principles and morals, like I don't like to discuss an ongoing negotiation publicly. I think like nobody else has done it. Chainlink has negotiated with lots of other companies, right? You don't see the other representatives of those deals coming out and being like, man, these guys are trying to strong arm us. They got the platform and the users and integration with the US, and, you know, CCIP is doing well.
What's more important? Is it an integration with Chainlink or an integration with Circle or Tether?
It's Tether all day. But here's the thing. You could make an argument that CCIP by extension will get you connected to the stablecoins. So in that roundabout way.
No. You would still need USDT on Cardano.
I agree, but you'll get access to liquidity into the stablecoin ecosystem, and you could still move from you could move seamlessly from Cardano through Chainlink to Ethereum, tap into their stablecoins. So,
but you can't bring those back to Cardano, my friend.
I know. But you could participate in DeFi outside of
not
your
on
ecosystem.
Cardano.
Yeah.
That defeats.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, in a roundabout way, you get exposure to stable coins and DeFi outside of your ecosystem.
I would say you get access to all the private blockchains that are being built. I think that's a big one there. But yeah,
he was pretty hyped up about USD1.
Which is
the World Liberty Finance stablecoin.
All right. Last thing I want to talk about, since we're talking about kind of Chainlink and Swift. So this was posted by Osama, not Bin Laden. This is on LinkedIn. Said Ripple's XRP stands alone as a blockchain that's been battle hardened by nearly 5 years of intense regulatory scrutiny, proving its resilience like no other. For over a decade, Ripple has been vocal about prioritizing compliance, trust, and interoperability, working hand in hand with global regulators to meet stringent standards while driving innovation in cross-border payments. To which Tom, say that last name for me.
I don't know. Z, man.
Tom Zistachek. Whoa, crazy name. Tom, who's the CIO at Swift, right? The Chief Innovation Officer, said, Osama, why'd you do that on 9/11? Just kidding. Said, Osama, surviving lawsuits isn't resilience. Neutral shared governances. Institutions don't want to live on a competitor's rails. And compliance isn't about one company convincing regulators it should be allowed to operate. It's about an entire industry agreeing on shared standards that no single balance sheet controls. So taking shots at Ripple how much XRP they hold, and that, hey, just because you're survived the lawsuit doesn't mean that, oh my God, all of a sudden you're resilient. Thoughts on this back and forth here? I thought it was kind of interesting. There's a lot of infighting between the XRP community and the Chainlink community. Which one's better? Which one's going to do the banks and yada, yada, yada. Any comments from you on this exchange here?
So Swift system isn't a company, right? It's managed and operated by individuals elected by a group of companies. And so by extension, it is a lot of companies that control, or banks and governments and central banks that control Swift. So you could make an argument that they have this little decentralization effect to them, and they're looking over at Ripple like, hey, like one company is going to control the ledger. I don't know, man. It seems very nuanced here. I don't know, man. I mean, where do you land? Because the argument is like, hey, XRP controls too much Ripple, or Ripple controls too much of XRP. It's also going to be a one sheet controlled by one company. Who wants that? At the same time, Swift is, kind of free from being owned by one company, but essentially it is operated and ran by lots of companies and central banks or elected officials, and so it's an interesting back and forth here.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm betting on who is going to be able to capture a lot of that money flow, but within the Swift and the DTCC system, I would go with Chainlink.
I think the answer is clear as history.
Chainlink.
No, it's clear as history. Is that new technology is going to come up. It's going to put pressure on the old technology, which is Swift. And Swift either adapts, modifies, and becomes competitive, or they lose. I think they're going to do the other option. I think they adapt, modify, and become cheaper to compete, which is a net positive for everyone. Because we know that sending money internationally, or just the time that it takes for transactions to process and settle, it's archaic. It should be done in real time, within minutes, seconds, and that's what blockchain does at a cheaper price. And so I think that's the direction we're going. And so I think both live together. Same way we talk about it all the time. Like, hey, which layer one is going to be the winner? Like, it's not going to be one. It's going to be an ecosystem. And so I think Swift is now going to have competitors. It's going to be an ecosystem. It's going to be Swift and other crypto blockchains. And then that's how you're going to move money internationally.
All right. We're moving away from the show. We're done. That pretty much is what I'm trying to say.
Amazing.
Yeah. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the show, content. Come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. Gina? You notice my tornado went to a flick? Finger flicking. Finger flicking good. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control